Your service to your boss was appreciated, but it gave you no right to embark on a project to make convenient the life of that boss. In that capacity, going forward, in that way, you could have consulted your boss, tapped on her shoulder or his shoulder and said, boss, hey, the other day I saw you were carrying quite the chunky amount of luggage, and I noticed there are so many other staff members all up in our grill like that. How's about we procure the services of golf cart drivers to drive employees from the parking lot to the office, so they don't have to carry so much luggage anymore. They actually did that at MTN. Instead of you hooking up an elaborate airport transportation, like an airport luggage transportation system that requires build projects alongside a very complicated IS system behind it that's going to account for every lost using some scanning device bag that goes through that conveyor belt. There are simpler ways to do things, first and foremost, and secondly, consult. Ask if it's not worth the while to consider easing the burden of traveling from the parking lot with heavy luggage from staff members. Consult the ergonomics department, your boss, first and foremost. And then interview colleagues to see if this is a need for them too. If they feel too like this is something they need. If they've got back pain, if they have a scratch from falling because of carrying too much, if they can give you witnessing testimonies to basically speak volumes to the need of this thing. Maybe, like I said, needs analysis. You are not interrogating, you're not interviewing, you are not putting your ear to the ground. And black men, you have literally offered yourselves on a silver platter as these Romeos, two black Juliets that are going to be star-crossed lovers in a tragedy where everybody's going to die because there is an irresponsibility in a man divorcing a woman from her family, making her Juliet the Capulet, and you being Romeo the Montague. You are literally creating Romeo and Juliet stories where you are, since you can't get to a woman, sowing discord between her and her family members, and then you ravage her whole life so she will need you. You destroy her entire life so she will need you. You make sure she can't make her own money so you can rock up to save the day. You are building a luggage carrying conveyor belt at an airport, but in an office parking lot. Over freaking kill. When literally you don't know what you could have gotten out of your proverbial boss, in this instance being your girlfriend or the woman that you are interested in, if you just asked her out. If you just wrote her an email, if you just tapped on her shoulder, if you just asked to speak to her on the side, and if she rejects you, like I said when I first started speaking here, God gave men shock absorbers to take rejection in their stride, more so even than women. So when a woman says no, deal, move on. There's plenty where they came from that are gonna say yes. Bakona. For every woman's trash is another woman's treasure. So there are ones who reject you like footstoots. It should not matter, not that much. There was a time when that was a whole reality, when men went through 20 women before they found their wives because they were rejected by every last person they ever pursued in the run-up to. These days, you just take whatever you want. You spot it, you see it from a distance, and you think that women are like peacocks out here fluffing their feathers, doing a mating dance in front of you by simply being pretty in your grill. And so you feel like you can just pounce on her like you're a beast in the wilderness, because you imagine that by her being so pretty, she's just oozing pheromones, and that's how you know that you can go in for the kill. Whereas we are human beings, we don't ooze pheromones. We expect you to say, this at last is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. I'm gonna call her Eve. That is a woman. I want her. You must talk. And when she says no, you must walk. But not in the black community. In the black community, we get a build project, NAM Saba, that costs how much it costs to build a Gautrain just to get a woman to marry you. Men out here breaking bank, bending over backwards without even speaking to a woman. You haven't even wined and dined her. You have not spent a single cent on pizza, but you have spent already 5,000 rands on a ritual. You have already spent imali on witchcraft before you can buy that woman a perfume. Before you can buy that woman an expensive perfume. Like, it's just like, Papa, save that money to wine and dine the woman that organically agrees to go on a date with you. Save that money to take that woman to the most expensive restaurant in your city and give them that kind of fine dining experience. Papa, because if you can part ways with 5,000 rands, you can spend money on a bill at a restaurant where one little like glass of champagne costs 250 bucks. I mean, 250 bucks versus 5,000 rands. If you like to spend all those mashankuras on a woman that when you ask her out, albeit shaking, will say yes. Take in your stride, shaking. When you ask a woman out, take in your stride nervousness, take in your stride even the prospect of being rejected. Because there is joy to be enjoyed, gladness to be experienced. When a woman says, I'll go on a date with you, when you did not have to manipulate her family spiritually, when you did not have to take away her job, when you did not give her an incentive to like you, because she's so poor that any man out here throwing 100 rand note in her face, she'll take him. She'll just take him. You manipulate women's lives to finally be with you. And that is the reason why I'm literally facing suicide today. Because men have said, I'll pela until you come and be with me. This little freak that raped me in my dream was not the only sex assault, but it was the only one that was forced. The rest of them, I was consenting. My ex-boyfriend was involved in this dream too. And he was out here ripping off my clothes on some, I've waited for so long to finally do this. How many times must this guy keep on going back to the drawing board? He, however, with him in the dream, I was consenting. You see, rape, yes, like it. I keep saying Karabo like a rape. And in some instances, it's true rape. Like this guy in my dream, it was true rape. But in other instances, it's like roofies. It's like date rape, which is also true rape. But it is a rape where a woman looks like she is consenting. You drug her, and then she ends up waking up in the morning feeling sore, wondering what happened. What happened? Only to discover that there is something in her bloodstream, a drug that doped her overnight while somebody had a field day with her body. Karabo is like date rape. It is properly like roofies. I can't say that enough. And on top of that, it's extremely rude because these guys don't even speak to women. They are just sign languaging us. They're sign languaging us. They're aloof. They're removed. They're despondent. Some of the witchcraft is even so arrogant that these guys expect these women to go to them. They expect the women that they have burdened with passions to knock on their door and be like, hi, how would you like to talk? Or flirt with them. Basically throw themselves at them. This man knowing that that's what he wanted all along. Yet acting as if though, okay, fine, I'll go on a date with you, seeing as you're so desperate enough to actually follow a man around. That's their witchcraft. And I keep repeating myself time and time again. Another 1,000 rand, 1,500 rand. Also, you see Musadi go McDonald's, like proper, even McDonald's, a date at that entry-level restaurant is far more romantic than shawang emiti. Before you even talk to a guy, he's out here already tilling your heart like it is land, like it's a field, like it is sand, like it's soil, to make it nice and ripe and ready for you to receive all of his indiscretion. Yes, like it, man. I sis man like nyonsa. Lipize inse legisla basari di chefu, poison all over the show, and then you try to convince them ukuthi it's what they want. You neglect them so that you can rock up and be the only ones rescuing the day. I keep on highlighting this problematic Hegelian dialectic way of Ushtelabafas. You pursue women. Ka kohobela, ka ditlhare, hale bui, hale, like nothing. Just deprive her of love so much that la ntse o le seboko o tla gonka, cause ha gona lerato le leng on the left and on the right. This little worm o wa carpenter mo jarateng o itweditse hore mos a kena life, aina life, so o zongnikeza yona that pipsqueak ale mogutwana le mosetsane hakana a ka se gone ho handla hanga moela a ka ba crushed. I told you I'm tall, 1.75 meters tall. I'm Amazonian. Mariang phone. Di outingana tse di stock sweets tse di nyane a se ke gong zama ka di korobela keng ya then guys ke kupa le shelling, like just go back to good old fashioned Shellington. Just pursue women. Hale bampa la bampa la bampa, hale popa la popa la popa. Mara, if a woman says no, what the heck, move on. And happy when you are indecisive between two women and one of them goes on right ahead to then move on, let that be the thing that made the decision for you. Stay with the one that was still out here waiting around for you to do something. Do not, in your indecision, I've had this happen to me as well. Do not, in your indecision, being confused as to is it Karabo, is it Pinky? Is it Karabo, is it Pinky? Where should I pursue? I like them both, I guess sure. Then make a decision when Karabo moves on, because that's what I did. An indecisive little creep was wasting my time. And I was like, you're not going to string me along, Abuti. I'm leaving. I stopped taking his calls. I didn't so much stop taking, maybe I did, but I stopped giving him attention. I made it clear, you're free, fly like a bird. Or go and confuse another two women. But as for me, I'm not going to be strung along. I evidenced that I basically one. I had the one that was the remaining one that was still hovering in his environment. And what did this little idiot do? He made a decision. Since I stopped spazzing over him. He decided to block my prospects for marriage, for me to do anything at all with my life, while he went on right ahead to indeed marry that very other woman, only confused about between the two of us. What decided Uguti, if I can't have them both, I will destroy the life of the one that I don't marry, or the one Otwang Munna, so that I can comfortably, with leisure, with ease, marry the one that I finally did marry. Uhambile wayochata umfazi wakhe washiya uKarabo in a hole. Hambani yobhoda eva banna ba batho bantsho tsa moshwang go die akunataba le lona ka ofela le kopane wa nkutlwa nna ha konyala monna wa motho ke le zamme. I tried. Halena maitseo, halena self-control. You cannot love women. And on top of that, the sad and disquieting thing is ha re bratwa ke ba bang batho ka montle la sabotage, la senya. I don't know how many dreams I have gotten of me being a widow just a few years after Kenyala. Because I've gotten dreams of me being a divorcee just a few years after Uchata. No, but they sowed discord in my marriage. I've gotten dreams of me menopausing before I marry. So a man will be disincentivized to marry me because, again, you're not going to bring forth kids for me. I've had dreams where I was forced to adopt a child because a man did not come along, and I also reached menopause. And so because I wanted to be a mother, I guess adoption will give. So it's either you marry some freak or ukaleba like a fairy tale ya hao. Ukaleba like a picket fence, ukaleba like a lenyano le bana born in wedlock. Ukaleba le You are selfish and greedy because you tend to have you've got your own wives, but you insist that Karabo does not get her own husband. Le batla ho etsa basadi ba leng single ba senang bana ba so nyalweng dinyatsi. Yes, like it. You insist on using witchcraft to create mistresses out of women that can go get married out there. Bayoyenzwa honest women. You grab young women in their prime, childbearing years, and put them in 5-year, 6-year mistress relationships. Inyatsi nje, hanging out with some freak asatsebo wa sa khone ho tswa. Enyetseng for 5 years. Ingathi o jwana boyfriend, ingathi we married. And you're waiting for this guy to ultimately propose marriage to you. But no, Kinyansi, she's only seen on Chris Hawking on the day after Christmas, the day after his birthday, the day after Easter, never on the actual day. Because lenja le imu vimbile, o twele ngaye, o rwetse ka mosadi, o hana ho motlohela, and causing Lomfazlona to give him children as a secret, sipiri. She is a secret and she's busy giving a married man children. With each new child being born to this freak is each new opportunity for this woman to go and be someone's wife. Gone. Because kuna madoda out there bangafuna bafazi that have got children. What in the world? Musadwa Tengi, then she wakes up when she is 38, 39. Never been married. Maraunal banabai for with a married man. Besa aba bitter akwate that impilo yakhe injena bese abe nomona against any other woman on the left and on the right ochadilwe bese aba the scorn of society cause now she's only ever been a lifetime mistress, always a mistress, never a bride, always a home wrecker, never the afflicted wife of a philandering man, always just breaking inhliziyo zabafazi kulula nje with all of that greed of yours. For you to have 2 women at the same time pregnant, it's a flex. It's a flex. Umfazi wakhona 7 months pregnant, inyatsi 3 months pregnant. Hi shame. One might argue and say labafazi badom to let themselves be this thing to lamadota, and indeed to a certain extent they are. Mara the way nna ke batlwang ke banna ba nyetseng ka teng, ba senang taba ba sa bicycle msa rona le basadi ba tlo utlwang botlhoko mo by 2, both the nyatsi and the mistress bang giving bang emiti bang patla ka dikorobela ba batla go ntshwara ka di-washing ba batla go ntshwara ka go rwala ba batla go thwala ka nna. Do you understand? Bang kenye mo matlong a bona nje fela to make me gather dust, bang rekela apartment, bang pay dintho nna that I don't need mara that I want, like a car service, like a renewed driver's license, like perfume, like a bag full of expensive makeup. All that. And then cause me to basically forget about amapupo wam, of being a free woman, able to serve the community with my family. Koske musadi of an honest man, kinalebana in that marriage. Babata go unkela that freedom to walk around as an honest woman in society without having to hide, shield myself. Re kopane ko di khoneng ko di hoteleng, re chakelwe behind closed doors ko di apartmenting that are not on the records of his business. Ho shelwa nje fela ka ditlhare, ke batlwa hard knock. Ke bana ba nyetseng ba nang di medi, ba nang di enge, and they are like, I'm not even trying to leave. Umfazi wam, I'm not even trying to leave a girlfriend yam. Or in some cases, they are willing to leave them. Bacanga ukuthi mina ngi-grand, ngiye-prospect yoku home wreck. So when then you look at all of these nyatzis doing strange things, inyatsi in at 27 to a guy on at 35 out here giving him her first precious conception. You're freaking 37, 27 for crying out loud. Una 27, you are 27. You are basically fresh out of your mother's womb. And then you go and you give some 35-year-old dude your uncharted eggs that are yet to be fertilized. You pop him a baby. Anyetse. You look at that situation, you wag your head and you're like, but you're too young to settle so badly. You look at a 24-year-old doing that, a 23-year-old, a 25-year-old, a 30-year-old, a 32-year-old, and you are like, but you are too young to settle like that. The ship has not sailed, sisters. It can't have. And you think, ukuthi labafazi badom. You will look at lamanyatsi. You will look at these side pieces. You will look at these jump-offs. You will look at these home-wrecking women. And you will say to yourself, Ukai tatla jwang 24. There was one that I knew back in the day, Megan at 24, where your niggas are a married man, a child. I couldn't understand it. I couldn't. You would look at them and you would be like, Utwei tatla jwang. Your first pregnancy on someone that can never make an honest woman out of you. You would think ukuthi lo mfazi udom nje. Udom. Kodwa in this 2025 where kuyaqhithanwa ngemithi go tshelwa na ka ditchef. O ka bona hore mosadi le 23 all perfectly viable akasala jwang from 23 to 28. 5 years yonke with a married man in his 30s. You can see it. You can see how Lecheri is letting herself give him 1, 2, 3 children. Angachadang. A man that is married to somebody else, and those 3 kids of hers have not met their half siblings, because nobody knows that bakhona no bakhona upili double life and labafazi bakren ngale situation. Now they don't know. Habatse udlap double life. Hence, he's got a 23-year-old mistress turning 24, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in those 5 years, giving him 3 kids. While his wife is on their 3rd child, 2. And she's out here thinking her husband is hers only. Only for the stuff to come out malenja le iboda. When he passes away at the funeral, we learn ukuthi kunama siblings abaye ayi3. Like proper, you cause a bereaved woman to ukhalela izinto ezi2 ukushona kwemyeni wakhona right next to the infidelity. Bare lawyer, do you understand? Bare tshwere poho ka di jerese di washing. Bare aina mo fatshe bare ntshe di boil hore banna ba bang ba ska re sheba cause bare maka nkare di slav with burning irons. They mark their territory spiritually on us. They say, there's no one else that's gonna love you. They thoroughly burn their mark on your body like a tattoo. Spiritually, aibonagale in waking life. So you'd never know. Satan. I mean, when you're dealing with that level of crazy, why ninga kabangi basa didn't Why don't you think that there is a God? Why don't you think there is a solution to this? Guys, listen, mamelang. Uktwala, labantu laba batwala ngama mamlambo akir kadi anaconda, batwala kadi noh, hape batwala kadi boko, hape batwala kadi tikoloshi. Hape batwala apparently allegedly ka di ancestors, and then hape ba khona le go twala ka mamela basadi. Hence why you can find indoda and ama baby mama all over the streets of Johannesburg as he is 7, and all of them keep on making him babies. And labafazi are young women, perfectly viable. They can go out there by your chat wakota. They are busy giving this idiot abantwana unik cannon. You can almost guarantee that Lenjaleya itwele ngalabafazi. These new women that keep on agreeing to be his baby mamas, it's spiritual. Batwele ngalabafazi. When a woman out here takes that in her stride, one needs to interrogate, look in the back end to see if abamtagatanga abamdlisana. Munna ona hatshwara basadi bana poho, is he not tethering them? Is he not in front of them as a leader? And komorago ba tshwerwe ke di rope to his waist. Everywhere he turns, they go. And they don't care that they know about each other as well, in some cases. Lezinja lezi zibolega tunga jena, ba batla nna Karabo Sitakele Hlongwane o iphileng modimo in 2011 hore ke tlo ba among one of these duped women abathwalwa ngabo basadi ba rwalwang ka bona ba batla nna o lo rwala ka nna bathong. Do I look like anaconda mang when I'm walking in these streets? Do I look like ngishonile so I can be an ancestor? Do I look like ispoko mina? Do I look like itikolosh? No, I'm a whole human being, and yet lezi zithwala ngabantu. So ja ka haba nkile di ntlanhla tsa lona, your luck, your fortunes tsamayang basadi a ke re nna haleng rata le mpantle ke tshwerwe poho nna. I have been incarcerated by amadoda atwele, and basitshela ukuthi it's only a matter of time because all of y'all were docile under them. But listen, I serve the God of the universe. I serve the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. I serve Jesus Christ, and he came to set the captives free. So lenja le gqele ngodlwengulo, that is my mom's carpenter. Ke tlo rapela thapelo engwe e kotsi enang le mollo hore moaka a ska mo hira a mo kobe aska etsa ke re le project a batlang o etsa tswe mo yona ore a tlo thola motho mong a vela nyamele nje fela in the thin air ore yena self the guy a decide hore ha tlo sebetsa mosebetsi ona cause tsotse mosebetsi elsewhere mara a tswe monna hore modimo a mo fe toro engwe e kotsi enang le mollo where he will see hore ke mo bone a etsa nonsense a ba tshabe go lo gata mo jarateng aska gutla monna ole to a point where mme wa ka o tla hira motho mongwe lo etsa project a batlang o etsa mo jarateng. Like I am going to pray nkare ke tswa madi ka nko, ke tswa madi ka matlo, ke tswa madi ka meriri. If it's an orifice, a pore in my skin, it's gonna be bleeding tapel. Hore monna wa ska tlo gata mo jarateng a tlo itwetsa re tlo buta koloi ya ka tlo change battery a tlo etsa eng ha ke tama batho a tswa mo jarateng ka nna cause ngumudlwengule and thina la ejarateni singabafazi nje, only women. So seeing as re dula re le basadi fela mo jarateng ha rena avenue ya go accommodate a sex criminal, a sex offender. Ha rena nako ya di sex offender mo jarateng. Hona le basadi fela ba dulang mo jarateng. So please kopa batho ba sa kgoneng go keep ta dintho tsa bona mo hara maruku ba ska tlo set a foot mo jarateng e tletse ka basadi fela ba tlo sebedisa ditlhare. Ke tlo lora ke sore ke tlo rapela thapelo engwe e kotsi e tukang mollo e tswang steam fur enang di peach fuzz hore monna ole something a ke tsebe eng mara modimo ke ha a ka beya some kind of a hedge mo jarateng hore a ska tlo gata mo mogae ever again, a ska tlo nka project e nngwe ever again emme wa ka tlo mo fanyena yona nna nka se gone bua le mo ka cause nna ke re ha rate modimo wa ka and hape ha rate le my spiritual gift. Hanga mlotsa hore nna ke bona go motho na o tletse ka o kata ngumdlwenguli lo muntu and you've got daughters, you can't afford to let a sex offender mo jarateng mo nang le bana ba banyana. Please kupa o tswe mo nonsensing eo. Since I can't mina, let the Lord be the one to take up my cause. The Lord, I am in my gap. You know why? Ke sa batle this guy o ratle mo jarateng kaofela banna bang patlang ka nika di korobela tsa bona ba hlanyang ba tshirianeng ha ona ke re lote o kgonang go accessa, o kgonang go mpona, o kgonang go lo kena mo jarateng. Ex boyfriend ya ke galantsa batla ho lo dial code ya ko heso again ko ka montle a arabe phone ba mo bulele a tlong check galantsa batla mara o dulantsa hita di brick walls monna ole why because nna ke di kena ke sby. He comes to my ministry wang zama from a distance o batla ho lo rwala le nna ka nna le mosadi wa teng they ba batla nje fela o batla ka basadi. It's what I'm getting at. Ba batla ho tla mo jarateng mara ba block ke taba gore nna ke di baki di kena ke spy. Cousin ya ka ke na le cousin e nngwe tletseng ka incest le ena o mo tletseng ka tlanti in my dreams ke potso gore ke nka wena ka Amnon and Tamar why o tlo o batla go bala le cousin ya hao ha tlo gata seta sa gagwe mo jarateng mo lantse le family member. Like you must understand all these men that have afflicted me with these love spells with these sex dreams, they can only ever from a distance ba khalle wa nkutla like an ice cream. They will lick the screen watching my YouTube content ba lle ba so di ke le tsamadi tsa boladu jaka ga nna ke tlabe ke le rapetse jaka ha nna ke tlabe ke rapetse ka madi a boladu madi ke ka di thapelo tsa boladu le tsa madi le bona ba tla lla dikeledi tsa madi le boladu from taba hore ba tla ba ngloile ba spendile 5,000 ranta go korobeleng ya bona ba sa gona mara go nthinta ba tla ba sentse tšhelete. The guy in America, he is bereft over taba ya hore he has spent a whole bunch of imali on that is never ever going to recoup. Amacost wakhona o feeling ngathi he spent imali eningi nje on nothing. He feels as if though he has spent thousands of dollars on nothing. That's how much his witchcraft has cost to date. I'm sure he's been all up in my grill for 3 years, almost 3 years. O feel robbed of thing. O feel like he gained nothing out of this. So every time he sees my content, o horror screen sa laptop ya hae. Abe a tswe dikele di tsamadi le boladu tse tswang ke re leka ditsebe madi a teng. Any orifice nje fela matlo molomo nko ho tswa madi. The way a frazwang ke tabara ke mo gone ka teng mosadi yona. This guy on fraza ang rabaza o phala everybody because o mmemwe jarateng ke mme waka. And nna ha ona ntwe nka yetsang ka o fela dintja tse ding tse tshereaneng tse ding busy ka nna ka di phafa tsa bona tsa satane from a distance. Ha bang khone and ha ba tlo kokota unless nna ke ba bulela, unless nna ke re come in, unless nna as Karabo ke lo walk go gating ke lo tutip ka gate remote motho a tlo kena mo ka kiss ya gagwe abazama ho long shapa ka le roma ke mmone go torong o rong tshetse ka ditlharo o rong tshetse ka chef ha bang khone. They will forever stay kwa gakala. Every last one of these korobela junkies but dafer abang khone mara o yena o mmemwe ke mme wa ka. That's why ang hlantsha hakana, that's why ke hlanya hakana. Earlier on today ne ke batla ho lo kopa mme wa ka gore a lo consider another person mara ona sta robets and le teng ne ke tlogeng kwena. What was I gonna say? Ma, please just make sure that you know, this guy, this project, I just feel like giving like I don't know, like she was gonna be like, why don't you want me to hire him? What's wrong? Nka se gone go mo araba, nka se gone gang gone ha rate my spiritual gift. So this guy ke ha ka etsa his own decision. Uraska tla something I could say be ka ka tlhokafala ke na taba le nna ke ka tlhokafala ke na taba. That's how much I can't stand these guys. Bang bora but seriane man, but rubbish. I hate them. They're just rapists and they take whatever they want. They pressurize women, they impoverish women, they make sure they can do nothing for themselves. And then they rock up here with a Harlequin romance ideal. Superman, Spider-Man, rescue the day. Creating needs in women that they don't actually have. By destroying impilos abozonke. Hakiba batlile mo ba khatileng teng. So la ka tlhokafala monna ona a kena taba. Earlier when I was watching the dishes, I remember even saying to myself, ona le bana le mosadi a kena taba. Because bana ba teng are better off without that freak. He's a rapist. Ke tlo mo etsang. Mono ke mo tlhoeleng so mo jarateng. I ke tlo gona mo shwa mo matlhong. I need to be protected from him setting foot like jarting. So no maga shona ngina ndaba. Ke re ka utlwa ro o kene kwa ke accidenting. Impa, if the Lord will spare his life, ke ha ka Lord dai jaiba mo South Africa go gakala. Aska tlo feta mo jarateng ever again. A ke re wa lawyer o tseriana o tlwaetse o nantse o consulta di sangoma di ntse di mo tonnetse matlho di mo jwetsa hore rona ke tlo fa Karabo. So ke modimo he aka mo lorisa seeing as o superstitious vele da. You can't consult a masangoma without being so superstitious. So ke modimo ha ka mo fa toro engwe e tlo mo bidisang o tlo bela nkare ke metsi mo araketlele a ba sa gone o kena mo jarateng a sa gona go gata lento la haile tletseng ka go kata mo jarateng. He batho nna ko rapela guys, ke lo rapela starting right now, ke lo thoma right now. Ha ke keta go lo stop record mo video ke rapela already every day all day ka ditang mara hona tse ding di thapelo tsa ka tse leng kotsi. Like I said, tse tswang madi out of my eyes, my nose, my mouth, out of every orifice in my body. Ke tlo rapela re monna o a seka tlhola a gata setlhako sa gagwe sa go bola sa satane se tletseng ka korobela that maggot mo jarateng. Nka se gona nna lo dula mo go lo ntse nna ke shebana le motho ke mo dum ke shebana le motho mo matlhong ke ntse ke mo dumedisa yellow o kae ke teng yellow nonsense. Ong loile ong rapile mo torong ong latetse ditlhare o itse hore last round e o tlo e shapa mo jarateng ya mme wa ka o tlo tswa mo le one of her daughters. Ke maswabi a buti ha o tlo kena. Ke maswabi, there's a hedge like the Iron Dome. Go gating. As far as go gating. As crash up my entire neighborhood ka fela ha ikopan. This entire square di complex. Gona le some Iron Dome nje fela ya go bela molo o mongwe tukang wa ko mahodimong. auto preventing this guy hore a ska khona ho kena ke re border ke re le neighborhood yaka. He mustn't even drive in this hood. Umdlengulu lo muntu uyenzani ejardini qwana abafazi, wenzani ejardini egcwele ngabafazi. He has no right to be amidst abantwana nabafazi because you're a sex offender. Seeing as South Africa ayifuni ukyo legislator ukyo create a canon basically what is this law. Seeing as South Africa does not want to regulate witchcraft. Ke ha re ka lo regulate ka modimo he, ke ha batho bana ba ka loriswa hore ba tlogela bana ba mona tseso, ke ha batho ba ka tlhokafala, ke ha batho ba ka preventwa ho tla because ba feel ka momoyeng wa bona hore e yona ntho ba ka se khone e kotsi. Ke ha modimo ka mo tshesa monna ole a ska tlhola a gata setlhako sa gagwe sa go bola mo jarateng. Like as in ever. Like as in he will never work for my mother ever again. Like as in I don't care what carpentry work my mom wants done. O tla no thola monnanyana go builder's warehouse o nang le body entse re Tyler carpenter. I can do it all because I'm a jack of all trades and a master of all. Nhire mme ke ha mmoka go lokra carpenter ra encha mokekulo ole mollotsana o lwa monna ha sa tlo gata jarateng. Ke ha modimo ira aka mo bolaya or a mo keepta kwa gakala fair. Because being superstitious batla wa mo lorisitsa botlhoko hampe over 3 days. Modimo mo jwetsa hore ha o kaya go habo Karabo o tlhokafala a bute ha o tlo phela. Ha o tlo phela. Tlogela ngwanaka. Tlogela my daughter. Proper. I mean, I have never had to deal with one of these badlwengulis in my presence. I have never had to deal with any of them. And that's why ke ba khona. That's why I can handle. That's why I can deal. Do you understand? Ke a khona o phela mona everyday ko fihle ke ntse ke hema ntse ke complain ke lahlela mantswe ke ntse ke breathe hard ke ntse ke utlwe botlhoko ke lahlela dilepe le matlapa all over the show. Ke khona ho etsa mosebetsi o ko etsang unfettered because the threats that encircle me from all these freaks are remote. Bang tshwere ka dial ka remote control ka DSTV remote. Banna ba ntse ba change di channel. Ha bang khone ba shapa sign language from a distance. They are remote. Ke ha ba ka dula mo ba ntse ba leng ko teng ba le ko gakala. Bang zame remotely ka di death spells tsa bona. You know how I even compare ba ba ratang go shapa ka di death spell. Ke ba bitsa bo Carmen San Diego or Waldo. Where is Waldo? Where is Waldo? Or where in the world is Carmen San Diego? Why? Because bang shapa ka di tlhare. Bang lawyer ba re nna ke lo ipolaya. Ke ha ke ba botsa hore he bathong jaka ga o mpatla ke tlhokafetse a butile OC. Why o sa fitli mo o tlong gwaza? Why o sa kene mo jarateng o tlong thunya? Ha bang gone so ba batla hore nna ke lo ba thusa o ikisa mahodimo. Ba batla nna hore ke ba thuse ke lo ipolaya. So ba nne ba ntse ba le busy bang topa bang peita ka ipolai. And I just look at them on some way thinking a butile OC. O Carmen San Diego wena ke go bona wena o Waldo. Ha o tholege mo hara painting re nne re ntse go batla all over the show re o kae Waldo mothateng ga bona gale. Why? Because we patile mo hara occult magic. Ha eba no batla motho a tlhokafale ke a o ka lonka sethunya sa go sniper o lo bloma mo godima rofo jaka attempted assassinate Donald Trump o ngzame o thunye maybe o tla kra tsebe because modimo wa protect ebe wena ba go bolaya ke secret service. Mara as for me how tonkra mara right now jaka gale le kwa go gakala le Carmen San Diego le Waldo re tlo ntse re khalara mo hara coloring buku re ntse re batla ka magnifying glass sefatlego sa gago sa go ba se bosa sa go ba se botho sa go botofa se batla sefatlego sa gago sa bokobo re tla ntse re se batla re sa se cry because o ntse le busy ntse o lawyer o ntse o phinya on top of a cauldron o ntse o etsa di incantation o foster o hesha situation as I giving Karabo phela every day. Hi guys, it's your girl Quen K. I hope you're good. I hope you're peachy. I hope you're Stella, and I hope you're in a neat little bunch. Karabo tlo nentsa tla mwanza le bora. Le tlo nentse le motshela ka diqhetho. Ha eba le batla go ntsha acne. Ha eba le batla go nkela botle. Wa le sa tle mo jarateng no ntshela ka acid. Ha le nkhone akere. Ha le nkhone ka ditlhare. So le busy le dutse kwa fa. Le tshware ke kwa baba. Even to do your own witchcraft. Ha le gone go ba bold. O fitla mo jarateng yourself le tlo pa. Le lo gwa se khotla sa lona. Mo tlepetlepeng yaka ha le gone tlo ntwetsa taba tsa ka direct ha le gone ngolla di email le ntwetsa taba tsa ka hore ke tswa kae. Where do I get off telling you nonsense? Instead le nkwara go ditorong, instead le nkwara ka ditlhare, instead le nkwara ka isitqhetho, instead le nkwara ka bring back lost lava, le nkwara ka korobela, le nkwara ka ipolai, le nkwara ka re tlo go kwalla ka mogara mokoti o ska tswa Karabo o ska hema o ska etsa anything ka bophelo ba gago o be o nke ntwe nna ke le nyona. You will eventually embrace isitqhetho le nkwara ka di threats le tletse nja fela ka go taser. Mara halena any true halena true energy le Waldo le kwa gakala njanyana mara ase Waldo here mo jarateng ena le mosebetsi mo ka mo fileng ona ene e tlo fitla mo jarateng e ntseng ke shebile ka lukunyana ene ya go bola ya pervert nna nka se mo gone askisi. It's too close for comfort. Lenjale is too close for comfort. Literally, guys, I'm telling you right now, monna ona nna wang tshosa o ngrepile go torong ene o sebeditse batho ba ko heso to get to me. Ke bona ba mo buletse monyako, ke bona ba notlotseng monyako hore a lo kena. One of my cousins, my aunt's daughter, ntse le busy ka ditlhare tšhiri ya teng e enforced gore ke collaborate le nna ka business ya manala a ke tsebe keng ana wetse keng osi ke tla dila ka wena maybe ka osane. Right now ke tla ka motlongolo mo jarateng mara o buletswe ke mang ke wena, o buletswe jarata ke cousin ke mme ke ha ona motho sa buleleng motho jarata ana re tlogela sex offender ra jwang mo jarateng ntse you walk up and down. Dumela, hello, okay. Dumela, hello, okay. Ha ntse tšhentšha ke battery o ha ntse go thusa go tšhentšha le tire o go shebile that way ka s he's salivating. No ke maswabi monna o nyetse o na le bana mara mo torong o ngepile because ne ke sa mo batle nna ne ke sa mo batle personally ha gone o inspire di feelings o zamme. So this time around he went for very extreme sorcery. I'm sorry, something has to happen to make this man basically cancel the contract with my mom, because my mom is certainly not going to cancel him herself. Moka hatlo mo cancela monna ona ke aka cancela nkare ke woke agenda ya go America ke ba ka mo cancela ke ha ba ka mo di-platform ke ha monna ona a ka lahlegelwa ke mosebetsi wa hao kaofela wa mo jarateng ya go heso ke aka lo agela batho ba bang di-cupboard tsa di-kitchen le ditafole tsa go lounge ke ha ka lo sebeletsa mago a mang le batho ba bang ba mo offerang ko dikasing tsa hae mesebetsi mara mo jarateng o dila ka mozalano o kotsi o feeling beleaguered o leng the weak things of the world that's going to shame the strong. Lenja lena engazo ganda even a single foot light jarateng a ha tlo kena la bona the way ke feeling ka teng e ka ntjanyana ena e ke tlo rapelang ke be ke tswe madi monkong lona ele ntse le pizlo le tswe gore it's only a matter of time. Waldo and Carmen San Diego, you're going to stay Waldo and you're going to stay Carmen San Diego. Where is Waldo? And where in the world is Carmen San Diego? Re tlo ntse re le batla re sa le cry le tlo batla go kena mo bophelong ba ka from a distance vele gale ke ntse ke tshokere le Vanessa Williams. From a distance you will perpetually leng loyal le zame go lolokolla ntho ke leng yona hore ke ska le thunza gakana ke ska dazzla gakana ke ska shana ke ska butswa gakana ke ska boela gakana ke ska tshesa gakana le tlo ntse le zama le faila mara ke a le gona every single day. From the thing that you are, the thing that you are, I manage, I succeed. Cause like I said, you are maintained as Carmen San Diego. Ha little ngi tenta naganqane. Ha little fika mo jarateng lo njesa chefu. Mara o leng 5-2. Go loko kota mo jarateng. O batlo mo fang code ya go kenela go tswa. Ke ha ka sa wetse keng, he must either drop dead or drop the assignment. Because my mom is not going to cancel him. My mom is not going to cancel him like the woke agenda. He must cancel himself. He must either drop dead or drop the assignment. Ke ha ka tswa monna nkare tswape. Aska tlo kena mo jarateng. And ke tla jwetsa if this happened. I'll come and give you the feedback. Ha mme wa ka a tlo ntotsa gore who waits nna motho ke mo ke mo file mosebetsi. Next thing mme wa ka will come to me. A tlo complain gore motho ke mo ke mo file mosebetsi. Ke mo file kontraka. Next thing ha se ile nako ya gore a lo etsa mosebetsi. Ha sa fitla o ntwetsa gore o na le mosebetsi mo go kae ba mo hirile ene ke tšhelete ngata ka se tlogele mara o tla bona go ka go commander mang o mongwe he nne ke mo hirile mo mara ke mo motho a teng o tsamaile jwanong tshwantse ke tsenge jwaneng e shwetse batho bang bora ene jwanong motho ke a mo tshepa ga ntse ke mo tseba dijara tse kaofela jwanong nna ke tlosa o mong kae mara anyway I guess re tla ithuta batho ba bantšha. Ke tla jwetsa ha mme wa ka sa fitlile ko nna ntwetsa gore na o kraile motho mong gore motho o cancetse. It's something gotta keep this little beef jerk at a distance because ha ona monna no tlo ntshelang ka korobela o tlo kenang mo jarateng a bue le nna ha ona monna nna o tlo ntumpang o tlo nravazang ka ditlhare ebe ke tlo mo fa code ya go gate ya go exit le ya go kena ke mo buleleng ka re ke Uber Eats mara yena di eats tsa teng ke Karabo o tswentse go Karabo ke yena dijo tsa mo silver plating Karabo ke yena di prawns ke di salmon Karabo ke pizza ko mo ja kankane Asadi ken ha hona Debonaire's pizza delivery man e tlo fitlang mo ebe e tlo tswa e be le ring on my finger or e kene mo hara mmele wa ka because nna azanka khona o ipona during the time when he was walking all up in my grill ke bone nje fela ile ntho e khazang ntho e lelemelang ntho e la e takatsang ntho e nna ke batlang e ke batlang o e natsa nkare ke apole shem ha ona motho o tlo manipulateang nna ka ditlhare a tlo kenang mo jarateng anza type di code rona re pressa 9 go gating hore gate tlo bulega ha ona motho o tlo punchang in code ya mme waka ya complex yaka ya unit ya mme waka ebe mme waka a araba a re hello aba lo pressa 9 ebe gate e bulega onglwele not even one ke halekale ha le tlo Waldo o go kae mfe buka mfe ngwadi re lo phehla mo sketching sena re lo go batla abuti ka bokobo ba gago re go cry re sa go cry mara you will stay Waldo and you will stay calm in San Diego o tletse ka ditlhare le seriane hakana le di scorpions le di spider bo rabobe ke haleka le bala lankutlo ha le tlo kena mo jarateng hallo kena ha hona se boko sa monna maggot tsebang ditlhare e tshulitseng rona yo nyala even though ingetse e tlo khosa Karabo re a accommodate isithembu e tlo kenang ka jarata ko heso you will be kept away even from my entire neighborhood that's what you must understand angifuni nyanzonda anginithandi nonke manhlangene nyanyanyisa nyahlanzisa kodwa the way nkanguthi ni special ngakhona ngoba you take everything emithi leno uGod uyaexista and uzonibonisa ama flames lenjale engrepile engdlwengulile in my dream akasozo ayatokhata I'm telling you now I'm even prophesying ha tlo kena mo jarateng ha tlo kena ho fedile the last job he did mo he should have probably walked away ka di pekerekere letsa high as a souvenir because he'll never ever see this place again nkisala it's like a person that goes to the beach aba khutla ka di shells every so often di mamets a le go jarateng go Johannesburg mo go senang le watle because ha sa tlo khutlela go Cape Town ngisala anka souvenir mo jarateng a blade of grass anything maybe even a blade king a strip of my hair seeing as he's obsessed Avalanza mamele like a shell at home in Joburg far away from the ocean because ha sa tlo pheta a gata pela ilwandle again ngoba he disrespected a shark in the ocean. He disrespected wildlife in the ocean in a coastal city. So all that he got now is just to listen to the ocean in a shell. Motako hasa tlo khutla mo jarateng. Di everything ya gaga I sileng morago. O tla senda for yona through someone else. Nlatela tsona tu abuti a ona ntho ya sileng however, mara just in case teng. Ha sa tlo fita mo montara ha sa tlo kena. He's done for. He is done for. And I won't even have to tell my mom a single thing. Ke mo le khatileng teng e ka ditlhare tsa lona ha di tlo etsa anything for you. Le ka se tlo loya mosadi to a point of eventually embracing ntho le leng yona. Le tsirane gakana. I mean akunando tezothwala ngami ever. Ha is not even one. You think ukuthi seeing as I'm 40 years old that ngizothatha enye into la emgaqweni eqhamukayo jongani le abandonment yenu I strategy senu siyensi cause I carpenter yase jardin to think ukuthi angathatha ikhosigadi nje ephelele like a whole queen efeletseng and walk away with it because I mean you know hana bophelo we just rena ke na bophelo so o tlo ntsaya while he's about to be given explicit instructions by the Holy Spirit to not set foot mo jarateng ele ever again or o tlo tlhokafala a booty. Angithandi guys ngiyanzonda ngenhliziyo yami yonke you don't understand ke le tlhoile ka kotsi man ka mollo ka tuko ke le tlhoile ka sebete mara the way leng patlang ka teng Hashem there is an exquisite naivety in you. David says in the scriptures, I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. Those who are wrongfully my foes. Nina any busy. Enzama abafazi ngamakorobela. Enmoshalo yonke le South Africa. Enthatha abafazi abancane. Basadi ba mo botsheng ba maphelo a bona. Le banka le ba etsa better broads at 38. Because khalente le di mistress tsa lona since they were 28. Shem. Re feditse ka lona nna. This is my 2 cents to South Africa. This is my service, my civilian duty as a South African citizen. This is my civic duty to South Africa. This protagonistic work that I am doing against Lamadota 12. This is my offer to this country. Kota Pegan, Jongan. Bona gore leng kwalletse mo hara di jail cell ga kakang. Leng tshwarisitse leng peile poho. Leng peile bampareng. Le jweditse hore ke tlo qena nna ke nkile bana ba in my stride. So umsebenzi wami that I've done to date. This is my civic duty to you. Letla mamela di content tsaka msebetsi waka. From a distance, bana ba setse ba lenkile ba le tsaile kaofela, ba le phamotse, ba le ravazitse, ba le tsaetse ba botjha, ba le baile bana bo dimpeng, ba sa lenyala, ba thwele ngane, ba le gwang ka re masapo a chicken. Ha ba feditse ka lona. Ebe le kwata le ba better broads, typical angry black women. And from that vantage point only, lena le dikele di mo matlhong a boladu vievie. Le tlang lebo ga fota ba hore ke qadile something. I started something. Marana ko ba le bana ba ka ba makhalate singe se kenyala le goa ke kgathetse ke bana ke done ka bana ba batho ba bantshwang kutlo. I'm done. Kwa America or wherever I do some my white men. Ke tlotsa malena more the future. Ke lo etsa bana ba ka ke lo ba mnate, ke lo ba calm, ke lo ba chill. Mo lenyalong monna ke sa tlo jeswang nesta mo ke out here it's running. It's nang taba ko rata mosadi. Like proper, I don't care for you guys. Angina ndaba nani nonke manhlangene. I don't care. Noma ninga border. So naivety yenu yokungithakatha to a point of eventually accepting whatever you are trying to give me is lofty, it's high. Kodwa, I'm not going to have to be subjugated to the tyranny. Do you understand? Lankalorang. Yeah. Of any of y'all. I am going to get my own. Mara basadi ba batho bantsho, bang tlogetseng, bang ignorileng, bang shadow banileng, ba dutseng mo channel mo contenting yaka ko YouTube, lona ba enabling rubbish e yang nyoko. Ya bana ba tsirianeng ba di maggot. Yeah. You deserve le South Africa in creatile. You deserve to finally fight for your rights after ban moshe to a point of getting over yourselves. Kwamele it appears uthi ni ravazwe. Nize nisikhohlwe. Cause right now niyazibona. Right now nganguthi insofar as together we can relate with the rubbish of our men abathwele. Sizoba right. And so you want to make Karabo just one of you. Mina ngiyahamba. I'm leaving. My baggage is finally going to be in that conveyor belt airport instead of in the office. Because God is moving me. And you will finally, as women, stand in the gap for yourselves. Because how na motho auto survivang monna o thweleng ga botloko gakana o batlang mosadi kankane ka dikorobela o sa mo tshwaneleng mara o mo batlang anyway. Ha na motho tlo le thusang ho dila ka rubbish other than madi a morena Jesu. Mara ha le mmatli singe se tlhwele ke rele mzalwane wa hae. So ke ha le kang loser ebe le sober up after the act. Akone nna ntse ke tonnetse matlho monna o njisitseng mara because o nreketse iPhone I find him now suddenly less crazy. Basadi, I dreamt the other day there was a woman laughing at about my content is going nowhere. O tla tshega girl o be o le o be o tswe mokolo o be o tswe boladu ka matlho o be o tigame wa nkutlwa o tla tshega because ntwe tsagalang mo South Africa le tlo tsawa nje fela ka tsunami ya bana ba tshirianeng ke maswabi ya go tumpa le wena self ya go rabaza le wena self ke mo e go tsaile le wena self e go fila nqolaza le wena self e go yentse stock taking is thotsela le wena self e go yentse popeye le wena self so go ntshega it's a coping mechanism ka go bona that's why go tshega go producer mokolo le dikeledi tsa boladu. Your tears will have passed girl cause ke mo o keketezekile wa tshega wena you're a monkey over taba rona motho shebileng content yaka ke reiza di issue tse kana a tlem ke maswabi tswelang pele ntse le tshega carry on tswelang pele ntse le tshega motho o raising the issues are valid about this crazy country la kula le kopane la nkutlo ni sangene nonke ha le tlhatsa go tswa madi e seng gastric acids le dijo the way le kulang ka teng na le internal bleeding mara le tshega motho o zamang ho lefa some kind of solution. Motho o le zamang ka di antibiotics. Motho o le zamang ka surgery. Motho o le zamang ka triage. Motho o le zamang ka sepetlele la motshega. Hambani yo border South Africa mphumekini yazi. Ya shem ke feditse. I'm done. Uyo rape kangaka. Emaphuphweni. Ukulandelwa emva kabuhlungu kanje na ngamadoda angafaneli. No, for 10 years. You've stretched this out, Shem. You have gone and taken this goalpost and kicked it out really far. Le tla qena le lwanne le rayothile le ile ko di union buildings le ngengile Cyril Ramaphosa or whoever is going to replace him to make it law hore korobela is a crime, because it is no different from date rape, and in the worst case scenario even rape. Ke date rape bana ba balenka kankane ene ba letsa dinyatsi le banyane le sa tsebo re grandship why nna ke ang 25 am I a mistress to a 40-year-old man on ntse ke mo fa dibana ana le mosadi wa teng ha o bone hore o jisitswe ke la o bone hore o tshwerwe poho ke something je fela go entsang go thikaziswe 24 hours a day ha o bone le tla tsena le machitse la nkutwa. You will eventually placard and riot and beg and groan and moan and complain and mob the government to regulate witchcraft and to illegalize korobela, because look at what it did to your lives. Ili file bana through men ba sa le tshwaneleng, ili entse dinyatsi for 7 years. Ube o lahlegelwe ke bill of health ya gago eskon, motho o go fileng ngolaza, and that's why you stayed with him. Letla tshega lebeletswe dikeledi tsa boladu le mokolo le qenele machitse ko union buildings ko Pitori lo jwetsa ba parliament gore yazini niyasidelela as abafazi. First and foremost, asazi nokazi why you even proposed a bill for the accommodation of isitembu under the common law. Niyasidelela. And secondly, re kgathetse ke di STD tse re di kraya from bana ba tweleng ko occulting ba gay. They are busy having gay sex and sex rituals in the occult. Ha kata mo ba tlo fitla ko jarateng ko mosadi a tlo robala le mosadi wa teng a ba mo fa ngolaza le some other STD combined in one sitting. Motho ke mo o ja di ARV le di antibiotic in one sitting mara o nyetse re kgathetse ke lona re tella le re forced le re long ya la bana rona ba ne re tseba at some point or ha re ba rate mara somehow re ikentse bo Amanda Black le bo La Sauce rabo I do mina nyavuma. I walked down the aisle to a man ongimdampile mina mengazi ukuthi vele mefuna ukumshiya, but next thing after 4 months saying meet no shame ngicela hulumende ya South Africa, even though our constitutional rights for freedom of religion ought to be respected, just like with free speech there is exception for hate speech and gratuitous violence. There is exception, limitation to those who are spreading violence and hate speech. So, if you can limit the freedom of expression under those grounds, you can also limit the freedom to practice your witchcraft religion on the grounds that you can be a witch as much as you want. Uyo embrace ama ancestors wako. Uyo qitha ithakazelo out of your mouth as you sleep at night as much as you want. Uyozi tholela yonke into oyifunayo la emgaqweni ngemithi, kodwa the day you start to invade lo mzimba wami uzolala nami ngingafuni, the day you start to put a baby in my stomach mina ngingekho ready futhi nokuba nabantwana ngoba you are using that to hold me hostage, the day when mina I can't go ngiyochada eyami indoda because mina nawe siphelile boy, is the day when kuzoshubalana awuna motho bang right. Molotov cocktails unless you literally propose a bill to regulate in South Africa that has made Lama like the Taliban in Afghanistan. Outing my rifles after Joe Biden pulls out, telling women anymore because you are now under Sharia law. Literally a tyrannical regime running the streets, grabbing entire academics in South Africa and making them sit at home, gather dust in their parents' houses, in the shack at the back of their moms' houses. Umfazi ofundile akakwazi ukuyosebenza, akakwazi ukuyenza imali, akakwazi ukuyoqeda degree, akakwazi ukuyofunda to further, akakwazi ukwenza anything ngoba indoda ethwele izitshela ukuthi wena ungumfazi wami. So until that time that you go to Lama union buildings and you riot, nkare let was steam out of your ears and your hair. Ha le tlo ba right, le tlo nentse leng tshega le re Karabo ha ona motho o tlang for wena girl o naive ke ha o ka hala girl le batla hore nna ke lo tsaya path of least resistance akere lo qena leng amogetse leng ratile mara ke le kwa da fair nna ke tsa bana ba ka le monna wa kwa le goa cause ke tsile ko ba lona ba batho bantsho cause ba le bitsa di hoes ba le bitsa di bigwanties. Do you understand? Ha ba qeta mo ebe ba le baya dimpa ba le holder hostage ba le baya di tattoo mo maleng a lona to mark ama territory abo, refusing ukuthi you should go get married and be loved by someone that does not call you a whore. Do you understand? Yeah, amadoda that convert you into the nyazi, the side piece, and then abantu bakaraba nayo, abantu abangwapa nayo, abantu abalwayo ngabafasi ke basadi ba bona ba ntse ba shapana ba mpamana ba ntse ba busy ba etsa ditlhare to kill dimpa tsa basadinyatsi or to kill dimpa tsa basadi because bana le mona over some man o entsang mosadi so dizzy that ha gone bona gore grasha bo monna o ngetse nna ke anka lo thola wa ka monna ba lentse dizzy banna ba teng until such time that you fight for your rights to not be bewitched to a point of ukuze khohlwa ukuthi ngikumbani wena as umfazi. You will keep on uzilingqaphela lingxoile nice Karabo. Let's serious. Girl, we're all in this together. No, I'm sorry. Me, I'm not. Me, I gave my life to Jesus. I am not you. Ake wena, and wena hauna. Na ke apere jeresi e white ya hao it is sila. Ha ya tlhatswa ya hao ena le matlhatsa. Ya hao mo life nyangga. And so for those reasons we can't sit in the same room. Ha re tshwane. Mara for now ga go bonagale because I'm still in South Africa. Ha go bonagale hore ke set apart ke motho different. Ha go bonagale hore ke dochitse ke escape ile ke phungile ba mphethe di bullet tse lona le tlhokafetseng under tsona lona le thuntswe le mo fatshe you are gurgling blood ha le gone go hema because banna ba le beile man the boots are on your neck ba le gamile ka ditlhare. That's why le bantle le ba pila na le 35 le song nyalo and until you fight hore ba tlo regulate boloi hello ba right le tlo nentse le tswa di widows at 30 married only for 4 years because some idiot of an ex-boyfriend o loile monna hao o ra lo tlhokafala lo kena mo hara car accident le tlo nentse le boloka bana le boloka banna le tlo nentse le nyala banna ba tlo le ratang in the beginning when they are courting you and then afterwards ba ni chenchel le tlo nentse le busy le fra and because le fra lo ntsha fra ya teng mo di chering tse ding lo nna le ntse le this barbaric society, ululating to the moon, praising your ancestors until you see hore as shem no haroloka re segile Karabo much too soon simlagile sathi rubbish kodwa pegan aseke gona di botokeng ase gona re fufureileng keng aseke rona re tsaegileng keng aseke rona re tsaetsweng keng. You will eventually get to that point lankutla mara by then nakitla bekele dafer. You call me a flight risk, I'm sorry, it's only a risk if there is a potential to mitigate it. I am a flight issue, not a flight risk. In project management, risks and issues. An issue is something that's already happened and you're dealing with it. While a risk is something that could happen and you can prevent it. I'm not a flight risk, I'm a flight issue. Le batla le sa batle, I'm going. And maybe on that day you will see the need to riot at the union buildings. You will riot under statute, and if any of them get busted, dangling you as a puppet on a string because of whistleblowing, they can go to prison for as much time as it would take for a rapist, convicted rapist, to go to prison. However long it would take for a convicted murderer to go to a prison, that's how long a man found wanting concerning death rituals, ambios, bulala, Karabo, whatever, or take culpable homicide, all these things, whatever might be the weight of the law in terms of crimes committed physically, ought be the weight of the law in terms of crimes committed spiritually. For 15 years for Korobela because it's roofies, it's date rape. I get it, that's how much time they be giving these rapists. They should be in prison for life, frankly. That's what I think, because how you go invade my body like that? Mara, they only give them 15 years, sometimes 3 years, but ridiculous. Mara, ke habakaya go prison when they get found wanting. Like proper, waza, love me, lick me, be tender, all up in my grill. Go prison when they get busted. Gunenja walking around as a sex offender that works for my mom. And he raped me in a dream. And I am pissed until you get as angry as I am, to a point of praying di thapelo tse tswang ka, like I said, boladu mo matlhong, madi ko molomong, mokolo mo nkong, le ditsebe di rotha madi, until o rapela o be o bleede ka di-pores tsa skin sa hao. Ha o so deal ka situation eo, ke rapela that way hore out here is ka tlo gata mo jarateng, until you get to a point where you're praying like that, hore le lona le ska tlo rabazwa ke dintjatse all over the show. Haloloka mara hong tshega shame, you're gonna be all about their business. Lona ntse le busy leng laga over taba hore ke tshwerwe poho ke di outi tsa lona tse jesang basadi, tse forcing basadi hore ba etse ntho tse basadi keneng, tse etsang basadi hore ba ba accommodate eventually. O tlo nka mosadi a mo behlisetse career kaofela just so he can marry her ngenkani, kaze weo akazingeni indaba ze shock absorber that God gives him for rejection. To him, as soon as he learns witchcraft, uzothola yonke into ayifunayo through this nonsense. Letlaqina le rayotile lesasibhayi, cause nako tsamaya ka nnete ko tsamaya. I'm gonna succeed, I'm gonna live, I am getting out of this filthy country, and I will not look back. Don't say I didn't warn you. I'm signing out in Christ's name, Krente. Peace.